to the movie, and it's like playing in my head.
Yeah.
I was like,
I could do that with The Office. I could be laying down and listening to it and just know what's going on.
yeah,
And then if I really wanted to watch the scene, like it really made me laugh, then I'll turn around and watch it. But other than that, no, I'm just playing things.
So we are starting. Hello, everybody. How are we doing?
Hello.
Welcome to, I think this is episode 36?
Something like that. Something around that number.
That's
36, 37 in a row.
In a row. We're about to hit that 37 in a row. We're gonna get there. Maybe have to jump back to Mr. Smith. Nah, we'll see. He's got a long catalog, so we got time. So we did So welcome to Side by Side Movie Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm CJ Robles.
And I'm Ben Garrett. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Good to see you. Glad to have you.
Thank you for stopping by. Side by Side is where we just take two movies and we talk about them, find a common goal, like a common theme from each movie or something that comes on or whatnot. We appreciate movies, what I'm trying to say here. And the two movies we picked today came from Jason Segel, or Jason Segel's a part of them. And it is 2009's I Love You, Man. It's I Love You, Man. 2009, rated R, 145 minutes. Comedy, romance, released March 20th, 2009. Friendless Peter Clavin goes on a series of mandates to find a best man for his wedding. But when his insta bond with his new BFF puts a strain on his relationship with his fiance, what is it? Can the trio learn to live happily ever after? How'd I mess this up? Friendless Peter Clavin goes on a series of mandates to find a best man for his wedding. But when his insta bond with his new BFF puts a strain on his relationship with his fiance, can the trio learn to live happily ever after? I don't like the way that sounds. I read horrible, but I don't like the way that sounds. Director John Hamburg, writer John Hamburg, Laurie Levin, stars Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, Rashida Jones. And we're putting that next to, side by side, right next to The End of the Tour, 2015, rated R, 1 hour, 46 minutes, biography, drama, released November 12th, 2015 in Brazil. The story of a 5-day interview between Rolling Stone reporter David Lipsky and acclaimed novelist David Foster Wallace, which took place right after the 1996 publication of Wallace's groundbreaking epic novel, Infinite Jest. Director is James Ponsoldt. Writers Doug Margulies and David Lipsky book. Oh, David Lipsky wrote a book from this. Yeah. Stars Jason Segel, Jesse Eisenberg, and Anna Klumsky. And there we are, and we're off. I gotta say that when I saw Anna Klumsky, I was like, oh, my girl. She's my girl. And man, I love that movie. It's actually the first movie that I saw where you have this joy moment, and then at the end when Macaulay, I remember spoilers if you're just tuning in.
Yeah,
we got a lot of spoilers. We talk spoilers here. We shop them up, we dish them out. They're all organic, all fresh. You ain't gotta wait. We get it straight to you, straight from our mouth to your ears. Spoilers. Spoiled. And when I saw it, we were watching a little my girl, I'm being like, hey, and then also like, what the hell? The kid died from bee attack? Like what? Like he's like he was like our age or like close to our age, and it's like, oh,
that's interesting that she got third billing above Joan Cusack and Ron Livingston, who were arguably way more in the movie than she was. She did kind of carry the plot a little bit. I'll give her that. She was over the phone acting. It was good.
Yeah,
she really phoned it in.
Hello, caller. How are we doing? She really. No, I mean her performance, her just appearance in that movie. I was like, oh, cool. Oh, look, like I liked it. It was exciting. So, billing. Wait, was it Jason Segel of number one for billing?
Yeah, I think they probably shared it, man. They're probably co-stars. Yeah, because Jesse Eisenberg and Jason Segel, I feel like that would be, because I honestly like, dude, whenever Joan Cusack came up, I was like, whoa, cool, and then Ron Livingston, I was like, oh, there's a repeat offender. Oh wait, no, it's not. I thought we did Office Space.
No, we didn't.
Oh man,
he's finally on the list. We finally got to Ron Livingston. No, he is a repeat offender. You're absolutely right.
Isn't he?
He's offending
Oh,
from Swingers.
Yeah, Swingers, and so is Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah, Swingers. Dude. So Jon Favreau is our he's our Vince Vaughn to Jon Favreau. I love Jon Favreau in this movie as Barry. I love him. Like this dude, this angry walking ball of madness, but you find out why. He's got a Jew fro and a little dick. Like,
yeah,
and he's 40 pounds overweight. So it's like, watching it this go around, because I've okay, so we're just gonna go out and say it. We already know this is a 13, so don't for those people that are new, we'll explain that to you when we get there. But this movie falls in my number one slot, but it's not my favorite movie. So I have 1A, 1B, and 1C. This is, I think, 1B.
Okay.
It's either 1B or 1C. 1A will never be. I figured out why 1A is 1A, and I found out I use 1A whenever there's like a death, whenever I'm feeling down, whenever that depression just really is eating me up. I go to 1A, and even when I have 1A, 1B, and 1C out, I always just get 1A. It's just, and even I've done this for years, and it's funny. It's an animated movie of all things, but this one, for being 1B, dude, I could watch this all day. I could watch. Dude, I've done it. I've done where I've seen all ABC like 4 times each in a day, just to just because it was cool. And I love the characters, and I love you, man. Like all the characters, like we just said, Jon Favreau is Barry. I'm looking right here at Tavin. It's played by, oh my, I'm sorry, I forgot. Rob. I don't want to say the last name because he's Rob Huebel. Yeah, he
just got to the scene where he yelled at somebody on the beach because he wouldn't pick up his dog's crap.
Jason Segel.
And it kind of scared me a little bit. I was like, well, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's probably him screaming. Yeah, dude. This movie is gold. It really is. What's the dog's name? Anwar Sadat.
Anwar Sadat. Why you call him that?
Just like him. It's just like him.
It's got its quotes. It's got its moments. But a lot of the thing about it, when you just like trying to like make friends in your after, I'm gonna say after 25, from 30, you still have it. There's still a good window, but after 30, man, it is hard to make friends as adults. And then to find your best friend as an adult at the age of 30, like, so it's hard. Like, where people are already set in their ways, and it's like, you accept me as how I am, and you're like, oh, what's going on? We gotta. There he goes. What do you call it? Like seeing sorry. What do you call it? Like watching. Sorry, I'm being interrupted by my own can. No, sorry. I like watching. Oh man, what are you serious? Are you there? Okay, yeah. Cool. It said reception disturbed. I'm gonna say, like, watching I Love You, Man, and then trying to make friends in your mid 30s is hard. And a lot of people are already set in their ways, and you kind of like, we just accept who we are. And I don't know, it's just kind of like when you're younger and you meet a friend, you usually have that young experience together, or just kind of like, hey, even if you're like in your 20s, like in your early 20s, like meeting people still green in the eyes, green behind the ears, and looking to like, I don't know, you still have a, like, life hasn't, I don't know, I feel like when you're 20s you get shit on a lot by life, but it's like once you have a clarity of like, I keep getting shit on, like, it's kind of weird. So you're kind of like, I don't want to get shit on anymore. And then sometimes you meet somebody without even knowing that you have like it's a lot of things in common until you kind of like have that moment. But I've been making friends online because of 2020, and I'll say that it's fun. I like it. I do miss talking to people in life, but I'm getting used to it. I'm 50-50 now. I could probably have, like, if let's say I never saw you again, but we had this show like this, like, forever, I'd be cool with it. Yeah. Be like, I never get to see Ben, but I get to check up on Ben. I get to see how he's doing. And plus we have our conversation before the show. So it's like you and I just kind of we bear it all. So it's not like I'm like, he's Ben's who he is and I'm who I am. And I love that. And we don't have to share that part. That's our talk. But I do like that, I'm still getting to know you better. And it's like cool, like as our adult friendships grows on, but we had a common interest, which was theater, and then turned into movies. And then now we're doing podcasts. And I think that's pretty cool. there's something about that. It's kind of like, I waited tables for so long and trying to make a friend that was a friend that was like a good waiter, but then outside there, like I was like, I can't click with you outside of work. It's weird. I feel like that could be the same thing with online friendships. Like, oh, I love you online and the way we chit chat and stuff, but in real life, God, you suck. Or maybe I suck. Like I'm just like, oh, sorry, I'm difficult. I don't understand this. I don't get it. But I think with me, it's like, yeah, I'd rather. It's that's what I got from the end of the tour. Like looking up, it kind of looks like looking up to your idol. Where and I love you, man, is more just guys being guys, and we're not all grotesque, and we're not all like. There's a lot of cameo players. Like you have like there's a lot of influence here. Look at all the guys that are in the movie. Look at all the girls that are in the movie. Look at the way they are. Even from the beginning, you have the conversation with Rashida Jones, who she plays Chloe. Oh, Zoe, sorry, I'm saying Chloe. Zoe, it's Haley, and then Denise. So Haley is played by Sarah Burns. Let's see what else has she been in? She does a really good job as like a single best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I like her. She doesn't come off as like super needy or super, but she plays it well.
Oh, she was in Barry.
She's in Barry, Detective May. She's in Desperados, a new thing that came out in 2020. Enlightened, which she played Krista Jacobs, 2011, 2013, and Slow Learners. Sorry.
She was in Wet Hot American Summer. Okay, that's probably where I remember her from. She was in the Netflix one. Never mind.
And then we have Jamie Presley. We know her. My Name Is Earl.
Yeah.
She's also the 90210 movie.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
French fries. Whammy.
She wasn't in White Girls, was she?
No. She was not in White Girls. That was Brittany Snow. I think Brittany.
No, it was the other chick from Joe Dirt.
Oh, we're getting her. No, yeah, you're right. Was Jamie Presley in Joe Dirt?
Yeah, I'm your sister.
Oh, that's right.
And then Brandy was the other girl.
The other chick, and Brandy's the girl that was in White Chicks, but her name's Brittany something. I forgot it already.
Brittany Daniel.
There we go. But yeah, that conversation where like the girls are so open with each other and they all know each other's like Peter's listening to the conversation and they're talking about like
you see his face too. He's just like,
Well, I do like that they showed that because this is in 2009 and I mean the internet's already getting big and it's kind of blown up that women have conversations like that, like guys too. They talk about shit like it's just their version, but he's right in the middle of it. I've been that guy a lot. I love this movie a lot because I'm not really like Peter and I'm not really like Sid 5. I'm the middle ground of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that grew up having friends that were girls because raised by girls, and then I'm also the guy that just kind of did my own thing. Like I didn't care how I dressed, how I looked, and I didn't know I was goofy until I got older and I realized, oh damn, I am goofy.
hey,
it's like,
goof.
Hey goof, put your thumb on her. On it. But what do you call it? I did like the fact that Jason Segel, man, he plays like he's talented, man. He's one of my favorite actors. Just entertainers. He can play the piano. He can do the puppet thing. He came out. How I Met Your Mother. He was on it for so long as Marshall.
Yeah.
Dude, he's done a lot of stuff. He was in Dead Man on Campus. He played Kyle, the frustrated, masturbating Catholic, co-ed. And then, he was in Freaks and Geeks.
Yep.
He's like, let me see. I mean, I'm trying. It's kind of funny because he's not on the. He's like at the very bottom of the. Here he is. Yeah, at the very bottom of the IMDb page. So yeah, I mean, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where he bears it all. Jackass. I love you, Jason, but goddamn it, I wasn't expecting that. Like, the Muppets. I didn't see Sex Tape. Have you seen Sex Tape?
Yeah, I saw it. It was okay. It wasn't terrible.
I heard bad things, but I haven't seen it, so I need to watch it.
Let's see here. Where you said he's not till the very end?
Yeah, if you go on my IMDb, I have to click all the way at the bottom.
Let's see here.
I forget he's a 40-year-old virgin. He's like,
open house couple. Okay,
no,
so
he's a knocked up.
They did it by appearance. So that's why. Yeah,
okay.
That's why he's not until that. Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Sorry, man. I gotta go get my my charger real quick. Sorry, I'm so impressionable.
Go for it.
My mouse just died.
Uh-oh. Well, hello, everybody. Just looking up Jane Curtin right now. She was, in Coneheads, and she was in I Love You, Man. And another good movie she was in was The Heat, and that's going to be with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. But she
All
was
right, I'm
she
back.
played
Sorry that
she played Peter Clavin's mom in this movie. So just wanted to give a shout out to her.
Did we have a repeat offender?
Oh no, I was just shouting out Jane Curtin because I really like her
No,
and
yeah.
Coneheads, and she was in The Heat with Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock. Do you ever see that?
No, I need to watch it. Is it
Oh,
decent?
dude, it's hilarious, man. Like, yeah, it's pretty damn good. Um, but yeah, man, no, we do have quite a few repeat offenders in this one actually. We have uh, Jay Gendris. Oh shit. Okay, so it's you want to go for it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me Chandra Sekard. That's a repeat offender from Broken Lizard.
But yep,
Sorry, let me just use my cell phone. I was waiting.
Super Trooper.
Super Troopers. All right, yeah. So it's
We need to have an app that like tells us how to pronounce these names. You know,
I could just read the names before.
Does it have like a? No, it's more fun when it's on the.
Yeah, it's on the fly. All right, so yeah, it's
we could just slightly offend people by not knowing how to pronounce their names, even though we really admire their work.
Yeah, the Sandra Sekard. We also have what do you call it? Nick Kroll's in this.
Is he a repeat offender?
No, he's not a repeat. Oh, we're doing repeat offender. Sorry. No, I like that.
Oh, no, I mean, I wasn't. I was just, I was.
No. Let's go repeat offenders. Yeah, you're right. You're on something.
Come on.
Is have we done Joe Trujillo yet? Has he been?
No, I don't. Was he in Super Troopers 2?
No, that was the other guy from well, as he goes, oh, walk faster, finger blaster, or something like that. Let's see. I know Matt Walsh.
Yeah, from The Hangover.
And then we have there he is. The golfer, the impatient golfer. Let's see. Oh, this is the first time we do a Louis Ferrigno.
Oh yeah.
And
hopefully not the last.
I have met Mr. Lou Ferrigno. He is actually my first Comic-Con photo op portrait I have. He's a really cool guy.
I think I saw it while I was there. It was like behind you, but it's on that wall.
That's when I learned that you have to kind of pick a pose and stick with it, because he's doing me a pound, and I started off with a pound and he was doing a pound, and then I started chesting up. So I look like I'm chesting and he's pounding, but it would have looked better for either of us both to be on the same page. So I learned like, okay, so we got to be on the same page as him, so we can make sure.
We'll learn from your mistakes, CJ. Thank you for.
Well, that's why the other posters, I really make sure I'm giving it my all. Who else we got here?
Let's see here. We have, like we said, Jon Favreau. Oh man, I feel like there was more.
David Krumholtz from Harold and Kumar.
Oh yeah, that's who else it was. Yeah. What about Thomas Lennon? Has he been in anything yet? I feel like we've seen him.
He's kind of in our world, but I think it's the first time we got him. I have him on Instagram. That guy's funny. He gets it. Let's see. I actually do like that Lou Ferrigno's in here. And then, well, we can say that this is Rush is repeating up in here.
Who's that?
Rush. Only Rush.
Yeah. Only Rush.
Rush.
Exactly.
Rush is a big part of this movie. So I would say we might be a big part of Rush.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely could do that. We'll do Rush.
We'll do Rush. Let's see. Well, no, I think that's it. That's about the repeat offenders, but there are a lot of all-stars or people that got a lot of
maybe that's what it is.
Nick Kroll's like the one I was saying, like that guy's funny, man.
Oh yeah. Have you watched Big Mouth?
I've seen the first 2 or 3 episodes. I need to finish watching it, but yeah, I need to catch up on him. But just him on, even having him on like social media, he's funny. Let's give it up for Aziz Ansari.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I think it was the Charlie Sheen roast he was at. And don't quote me on this, but I think it was on that one. But I like that he was sticking up for the Brown brothers, because they kept giving him they kept making fun of Indian jokes at him, and they were just like talking shit about Indians basically. Mm-hmm. And then as he went up, it was his turn to go up, and he's like, why y'all keep making? I don't even know any of y'all. Like it's the first time I meet you guys. Are just talking shit to me as being Indian. He goes, dude, the last three characters I can't remember. I remember it's Eugene from this one, Randy, and some other name. Like he didn't play like some like Patel or or like like a very stereotypical ethnic name like like Muhammad or something. He played a regular like suburb maybe not, American character. That's like me being casted like, oh, you're Jose and you're Jose again, and now you're Jose in this movie, and this other movie you're Jose. Like it's not like how it works.
That one actor from Bruce Almighty who has the monkey go up his butt.
Yeah, Hector.
No, he's like Hector in
every movie. Yeah, he's eating up all the roles for cholos, I guess. Like that's all they want in their movies. They just depict Mexicans as just this guy, which is pretty close. Nah, that's more of a
but he does have like that good stare down, like not to say that he typecast himself or
no. He is totally that.
Yeah, but it's I bet you he has some chops. He's been in enough movies.
Ben, you're making him sound like he's we're gonna have to look for stuff for him now because you're making him sound like he's a real actor, not just like a stereotype of an actor, like a character.
I know. No, he is totally a real actor. He has to be.
It was there, and then they had the meme going around that said, movie producers, we need a Mexican, and it said like all the movies he had to put in, like they put like his face with all the roles. It's like the same face and all the roles.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's dressed the same in every single role too.
He's like he thinks he's doing reality movies. He has like
an oversized shirt. All right. Yeah.
And by the way, like I have to keep telling, that's a lot of my friends that don't really understand. They think Mexicans are all the same, and that's like that cholo. That's like that California Cali swag kind of. They're still stuck in the 90s over there. So over here we have a different. Oh, did you freeze? I think you froze. Oh god, this is Zoom. Zoom is not. Yeah, I'm sorry, Zoom. I mean to put you down, but there we go.
All right.
Could be my internet connection.
No, it says my internet connection.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, no, I think I lost them. See, this is what the issues we're having with our recording. Sometimes we get. There he is back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's back. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Let's see here.
Cyberspace. We lose you in cyberspace, man.
Here, 1 second. Let me see if I can.
Hey, can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Does my breath smell?
Just a little bit. But don't worry about it.
All right. Because I did brush my teeth well, but I don't
know. I haven't at all. I just trust that it is good.
Okay. It's one of those things. Seeing that's what friends do, people. He's honest with me. I'm walking around with crap smell in my breath.
Don't worry about it. All right, man. It looks like everything's good. I'm not understanding why. It's probably just like computer overload, like from 2009. Please update.
But yeah, that's why I'm not gonna talk bad about Zoom too much, but it could be our internet. There's a lot of things involved, but so
a lot of moving parts. All right, but yeah, getting back to I Love You, Man.
Real quick, I just wanted to give that actor Hector, whatever. There you go. His name is Noel Guglielmi. Guglielmi, but is he even Mexican? That'd be crazy. He's like actor, producer, and founder of independent film company Entangled Entertainment. Noel was raised in Los Angeles and first cast without a formal audition in a Taco Bell commercial at the age of 15. Oh yeah, he's been doing this for a minute.
Okay.
Discovered acting during a class as a boy. Discovered during an acting class as a boy. Today, he is one of Hollywood's most recognized faces. Yeah, of course, he does the same face. His top 4 builds. The Fast and the Furious as Hector, 2001. Street Kings, Quicks, 2008. Training Day, Moreno, 2001. Dragged Across Concrete, Vasquez, 2018. Other movie, this new one he announced, 3 Solitude as Hector. Is he going to be Hector in every role?
I think so. See how? All right.
The cleaner, check. Hector.
So that's 3. We have 3 at least.
Fresh off the boat, Hector. So not only was he,
all right, not only was 4.
he Hector on a TV series, so he played Hector multiple times.
4 times so far.
It's a 4-time offender of Hector. Come on. He's got 150 movies. Come on, I need more.
Wow, that's awesome. He's like the Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Latinos, right? But we call him Hector.
Hard. Yeah.
Let's see. We got one more. I know. Fast and Furious Hector.
Okay.
Then it's like all Hector after this point, but it's Fast 7, Fast and Furious Flow, Retail. That's another movie. Okay, this is a new one. Hector. That's another one.
Okay, but if it's a different Fast and Furious movie, I'm going to count it.
Okay, so what count were we at before Fast and Furious?
I think I had already counted Fast and the Furious, so we were at 4.
Okay, now we have Fast and the Furious Flow. That's 5. Now this other thing called Retail from 2005, 2015. I think isn't this the one with Ryan Reynolds? No, it's not. Sorry, I thought it was Ryan Reynolds.
But we have another Hector.
You got another Hector, and then let's see.
That's 6.
6, and I haven't even counted the. Hold on, well, no, there's 2 Fast and the Furious there, but they're also the original Fast and the Furious. That's so there's 3 already.
Okay, so then I add 2 more.
Okay.
All right, so that's 8 Hectors. If he's continuing a character, we're gonna count that movie. Yeah, it's fine. It's not just one time.
What's up, Vato? Hey, Holmes. Hey, let's give a shout out. If we're gonna,
what was he in Bruce Almighty? What was his name in Bruce Almighty?
When was that?
2003.
2003. Let's see, Bruce Almighty.
Or 2001, somewhere in there.
Let's see, here is. It just says Hood.
What?
Hood.
All right.
And then it says as Noel. It's just a hard last name. Guglielmi, something like that. What's up?
So I'm at 8 Hectors so far. How many?
That's
it.
More do we got? That's it, dude. But
8 Hectors.
That's 8 too many, man.
Out of 150 movies, you said
the percentage of him being a Hector. Yeah, we're gonna have to cast him in a movie and just he's Hector. My cousin Hector.
Yeah, man, he's getting legit. He's doing good. He's doing really good.
So like 8% of the movies has been casted. Is
something like that. Don't try to do the math in your head. It's don't do it.
Well, don't try to do the math at the calculator either. Go there, man.
We said how many times?
150, and then you divide it by 8, and then you move the decimal 2 to the left, and that's your percentage.
Whoa, man! No, see, I did it my way better. Okay,
it's actually 150 times.
It's like 12%. 12%.
12%. I got 12. I just guessed it was 8. So 12%. So he's actually in double digits if it's 12. So there's
impressive. So he is. I mean, technically, he is a double-digit percentage of being Hector. Makes it sound like 99% of his roles are Hector.
We should keep monitoring his IMDb till eventually it just says Hector.
Maybe we could bust into IMDb and put Hector as all his roles.
Or we cast him and like we'll bring up the percentage. Let's say we'll do 30 more movies with him and we just pull him Hector. Just put a role in there for him as Hector.
We'll make a movie about making a movie and we'll put him in it, trying to cast him. And then he'll be credited as Hector. Hector as Hector
as Hector. That's kind of like in Desperado.
Credited as Noel.
In Desperado, we used to have there's a Pipon and Cristos, these 2 side characters that only come out. Well, you only hear their name once, and you only see them on frame for like 2 shots. And then my cousin, he's like, that's us in the movie in life for these 2 idiots. But then when you look up the guy who plays Cristos, it says Cristos as Cristos, which he's actually the guy in. I think I might have brought it up at the Dust Till Dawn. He's at the very end. He's the bald dude with the mustache when Cheech Marin shows up as Carlos.
I think you did.
Yeah, that guy's his Cristos as Cristos. But let's get back to I Love You, man.
Yeah, we kind of got a little off topic.
Well, it's Hector, bro. That's the movie. It's Hector, bro.
So also we have J.K. Simmons in here without a mustache, if I'm not mistaken, which is just odd to see. It's like seeing him naked.
I'm sorry, not my J.K. Simmons. My J.K. Simmons actually had hair on the top of his head. So
in El Camino.
And back in the day, man.
Yeah. Also well, he was also that in Spider-Man, but he also had a mustache. That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh yeah.
normally is. I did see him with hair without a mustache I said El Camino. It's the Mexican. Fantastic movie with Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt as a Mexican. It's pretty badass.
What's that?
Brad Pitt as a Mexican. It's pretty badass.
That's not the movie.
But it's so close. Misleading for a title.
It's close. Yeah, the Mexican. And you see some blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy on the poster
with an 8-pack.
Yeah, with Julia Roberts and James Gandolfini. Like,
it's actually not a bad movie.
It's really a good movie.
It's not a bad. I was hoping. I was like, "Where's these Mexicans going to come out?"
Like, yeah, right.
But now,
it's spoilers. It's the name of the gun.
Yeah, and I like the way the story behind the gun's pretty badass.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you call it? The J.K. Simmons. He's actually jacked, man. Did you see that? He's like, you see him in Whiplash. How jacked he is.
Oh, dude, man, that movie is intense. It's a great movie.
He's one of my favorite new movies called Palm Springs with Andy Samberg.
Oh yeah.
And Andy Samberg's in this movie, and their relationship together in this movie, it's kind of cool. I didn't realize that. It's like his dad in this movie is a very supportive father, you know. I mean, and I didn't understand that till I watched it this time because I'm focusing on other things outside of the things I love about it. And you know, what's his dad's name in this movie? Oswald.
That's such a strange name.
And then he's also like Hank Mardukas.
Hey, Mardukas.
My best friend from the first day at IBM, and your brother Robbie. What's up? I love the relationship they have. Like, you know, my son's gay, but I don't care. Like,
yeah, he's an honorary gay.
Yeah, and he's I told him he's honorary gay. Like, you can just imagine Oswald at the gay bar. I guess that would be me. I guess hanging out. You know, that's cool that they were able to capture that. And the fact, I like the fact that Andy Samberg is playing a gay dude that's not stereotypically a gay dude, but the things he says are I hang out, my friends are all gay, so it's like it's you know, the conversations we have, I'm like, yeah, you're just talking, you know, it's just regular conversation. And and they were able to capture that where they didn't have like some, I don't know, like little queen or something in there being like, hi, you know, just, I mean, those do exist, there's a lot of those too, but you know, in this world, that's the I'm gonna get my foot out of my mouth before it ends up in my butt. No, just saying, but I did like the fact that there was a good bond there, where in Palm Springs it's the opposite, like spoilers. And I don't want to spoil that movie, but they have their relationship in that movie is opposite of this one. But,
thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ruin that. I love that's a good movie, man. I don't want to ruin it. That movie is a really, really good movie. If they haven't seen Palm Springs, watch it. It's
also has somebody from How I Met Your Mother in that, so she played the mother, the main girl in that movie.
In Palm Springs?
Springs, yeah.
Who is it?
I can't think of her name just off the top.
Okay, off the top of your head. I can't remember. I forgot her name.
Let's see here. Well, let's see here. So this was made in what year?
Palm Springs?
No.
I Love You, Man?
Yeah, 2009, right?
Yeah. Okay. Right before the turn.
Okay. So 2013.
Dude, I just love all the interactions of him trying to just make friends, and then like he goes through that whole like mandates, like you get to see him.
Yeah.
And dude, it just reminds me, like, yeah, like trying to make a friendship with a hetero is so hard. And it's like it's really hard because you gotta, it's like, I don't know, especially like, I don't know, in Austin, I just feel like it's, some people are here, you know, are open and closed-minded, and some people are closed-minded and open-minded, but it's like, what side are you gonna, I don't know, people grow up and we change, constantly changing, you know, without knowing.
Kristen Milotti.
Okay.
Yeah. Ended up being the mother. But we digress. Anyway, I love you, man. This is just it's a great, yeah, you get to see all the mandates, like relationship, like.
Wait, Ben, you're breaking up, buddy.
Hello?
You're breaking up.
You can't hear me.
No, hold on. Let me close some things. You're right. I got too many things open. I'm gonna close some stuff here. Let me see if I can clean this up
I
myself.
I might as well. Maybe I just need to do this one time.
Yeah, let me
Let's
just close
see.
all this so we can really. I got a lot of things on now. They're all closed. All right, good. And now we got
Okay. I just
this.
have I Love You Man stuff opened up right now. Can you hear me better?
Oh
Can you
yeah,
hear
yeah.
me?
You sound good.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, everybody. We're just technical difficulties, logistics, whatnot. All right. There we go. Yeah, I got a lot. I got everything closed. Now hopefully I'll just go through. Dude, I love you, man. With just the actors, the way they interact, a lot of these are comedians.
Yeah.
Even the Gail Gilliam. Like
Gilliam.
you got me with the incortada. That cracks me up, dude.
It's just like it just like gets all pissed, but it's not till after he meet you know, at first he's just like, oh yeah, just kind of brushes it off, doesn't think much of it. After he meets Sydney, man, he gets into he's like, yeah, whoa, you know.
I like it when you see Sydney and Peter spending a lot of time together, and like because I mean it's only a short amount of time they have, so they were
Yeah.
spending like a lot of days together, and it shows Peter and when he beats Gil, and then Peter walks away all cocky, and then and then Sydney goes, "Suck it, Gil," like you just like talk shit like your boys. I got his back. Like it's cool, man. He's like walking around
Hell,
like
he was willing to take on Lou Ferrigno for him too.
dude, yeah, like it's like
That was
that's
stupid.
I know who the fuck
Um,
fights Super
yeah,
Rico? Like, I
that's
don't know,
exact.
Fairly Sydney. Um,
That was a great question to come in on. That's another good thing about this movie. It's just like how they go into the next scene. It's always a smooth transition. The way it starts too is just like a very soft entrance. Like you, Peter's almost like that perfect guy. You know that he's like that rom com perfect guy,
yeah,
and you know what I'm saying. Like, oh, he doesn't reveal anything until he's pushed. And, I've definitely met people like that are. I wouldn't necessarily even call them uptight, but just very you know,
I always say
close to the
safe.
chest.
I say
Yeah,
safe. Play it
yeah.
safe. There's nothing
But
wrong with playing it safe.
oh no. But yeah, man. I thought it was this is a great movie. I'd seen it before. Now, if I couldn't tell you beat by beat what was going on in the movie for anything. But rewatching this movie, it's yeah, no, it's a solid movie. I could definitely see why um this is a 13 for you, and definitely up there at the top. Um, it's it's almost like a romantic comedy,
For
but
guys.
yeah, yeah, exactly. For a
So
couple of dudes,
I
and
feel
even at the wedding scene, dude, like it's like it's at their wedding, like I love you, man.
I love you, man. Like you said it. There's a goofy part to it too at the end where it's silly.
Yeah,
Like we're making a silly movie. Look what we're doing. Um, the shots of Venice are beautiful. I love where Sydney lives. When I moved to LA, I'm just walking through those parts. And then when I watched the movie, I'm like, oh, I remember I walked there. I saw that. There's a place in on Venice Beach that says, "This is the place where I love you, man." Was shot. These are the best fish tacos, and it doesn't look as cool as it does in the movie. The place kind of just looks like a building, but it's not a bad. I mean, it's kind of touristy because I guess it has to be. But man, those fish tacos were fucking good.
okay.
They're pretty good, man. It's just spending time and getting to know each other. And I do like the careers that they have for these guys. Like Peter's a real estate agent, so he has free time. It's not like he's stuck at a job or something. And then Sydney is just kind of an advertiser guy, so kind of makes his money just on
Well,
sales and deals.
he's investment.
Yeah,
No,
so these guys they have a lot of free time on their hands, and this is
yeah.
what guys can do, and then like I said, they're older. I'm assuming these guys are. I think they're supposed to be probably like in their early 30s or something. But in my head, I
No,
always
dude, they're like late
you
30s.
think late. All right, cool. I was
Yeah.
always thinking that they're like older, like they're almost 40, and
Yeah, no, I would say that. I would say close to 40, probably like 34,
34,
35, somewhere in
35,
there.
something like that. Yeah, like I like the relationship here where I mean it is fun knowing that there are like Sydney people out there that are, they do their own thing and they're misinterpreted, but they're mean well. But he's also like, the real estate signs. He goes and he gives what do you call it? I want to say the guy that steps in the shit. I'm in that scene right now where Peter, where Sydney gets in his face. I want to say that guy's a repeat offender because he's from Reno 911, the second generation, like the second batch. But I want to see he was in Hangover, but I could be wrong.
Let me see. Who is it now?
He's I gotta look for him real quick, but But like just even when this movie came out, so I saw this movie once at the movie theater and I loved it. But then it played at the Dollar Theater and I saw it like twice there and I was like, okay, it's good. There's something happened around 2013, 2014 when I was living over there where I was like, man, I just started loving this movie a lot. I started watching a lot. Like I was watching a lot of Futurama and this, and then let's see, where is he?
I found him.
Was he? You're on the hunt.
Yeah, it
I like.
doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it. He's one of those familiar faces.
It really helped that they had it in, as appearance, because I was like, okay, Venice Boardwalk Jogger.
Oh, that's right.
So
yeah, there he is, Ian Roberts.
Yeah.
And then the guy, I'm just gonna grade papers. As he goes, because like I like that. That's he goes. What are you gonna do? Did you want to watch the Mr. Megorium Emporium again?
Yeah.
And he's like, why don't you just give them all B's? It's not teaching. I know it's not how teaching works. So why don't you just give them all B's?
Exactly.
I creep the kids out. The kids think I'm creepy. Like it is cool because it shows you like like Sydney's still doing good in his life, but it's his version of Sydney's world, and in Peter's world, he's sharing it. So it's very well. There's a woman involved, so it's got to keep it clean, you know.
Yeah.
So, it just. But he's successful, and even like with the billboards, like Sydney does it where it looks like a bad thing, but it's a good thing. He gets all this marketing and advertising, it gets sales, and then even Lou Ferrigno comes around. I'm getting some nibbles, Peter. What? It's like, but that's the cool part where it shows you their love for Rush. Like, so that's a common thing that they had, that they didn't have to go to a concert when they were younger. They got it when they got older, and I mean they were younger when they introduced it, and they're older and they still appreciate it. So it's like, dude, you get to go and have like a man cave. Like Peter, I doubt Peter would have a man cave at home. Zoe wouldn't let him have one.
I think so. He would, but he wouldn't think of having a man cave.
Well, he wouldn't be able to have a jerk off station. I'll tell you that much.
No. I mean, he wouldn't have. But he wouldn't have that either way.
Peter,
yeah.
I like the way he turns it on. Oh,
he's like
masturbated pictures of your wife. Ew. You know what, dude? I think it might be my side. I think I just caught a pattern here. Really? I'm going in through conversations, so I'm flipping through three things, and when I flip back to you on Zoom, it does that. Your internet is connected. So I'm just gonna push you in the back, and then I'm gonna pretend like I'm looking at you.
Okay, cool. I'll let you I'll let you know if you're doing weird faces. That's what I do as well sometimes. So hopefully I don't look like I'm just like,
hey man, by this point in this side by side episode, all you're seeing is a thumbnail. So we can do the Bart Simpson face.
Well, good to know.
I do like,
but back to I love you, man.
I love you, man. I love you, man. I like the Tevin character, man. He's just such a cheesehead, dude. Remember I was telling you about that producer guy that when I was trying to talk to Stan Shaw, and he was like in his ear telling me. So Stan was like, "Oh, this guy's talking about money." So sorry. I was like, "Oh, damn it." I do the same thing. But then that's how they look. Like some producers just kind of look like Tevin. Like that's just the look. I don't know. I don't get it. But the Tanning Tuesdays.
Yeah, from Fanboys.
Yeah, Tanning Tuesdays. We'll get that going. Shooter.
Shooter McGavin.
I like it, like when he falls back into the girl and he goes, "Watch out, big girl!" Like he's just like right. A dumbass. He's just a dumbass at work. Like, what do you think they're gonna be doing? They're gonna be pissing on my face. I mean, it's like, of course, but he's right.
I definitely I remember hearing that little spiel he gave, and I was like, that's hilarious, man. Like buying, oh man,
urinal cakes so that people look at you, so they can look at your face while you piss on them.
Yeah, it's like, I know you from somewhere.
Maybe you do. Maybe you pissed on my face in a urinal. Like, how you doing?
Even Sydney said, I pissed on that guy's face in a Bennigan's. Like,
give a shout out to Bennigan's, RIP Bennigan's. Used to love Bennigan's. Now it's
gone. That what was it? It's not the cordon bleu, but they had like that. Shit. It was a really good sandwich, and you dipped it in raspberry jam.
We're at Bennigan's.
Yeah, Monte Cristo, I think, is the name of it.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think that's it. Bring that back. I need to find somebody that makes a sandwich like that, where it's like a ham and turkey and cheese, and then you deep fry it, and then you dip it in raspberry jam, and it's gonna be delightful. You're gonna regret it 5 minutes later, but it's delightful.
It's gonna hurt all over, but feel good going down.
Oh, exactly. All the pleasure, centers in the brain are definitely stimulated whenever you eat that. Um, oh man, but yeah, I Love You Man it's fantastic, dude. It's like you said, it has so many quotes from it. What's up, Jobin? Or
Jobin. Like that's what this shows you, because he's a guy, but
he's just so damn goofy, man.
Don't go watch Devil's Wear Prada. It's like, oh, I love a Devil's Wear Prada. Like, yeah, that's CJ right there. It's like stuff like that. First Wives Club. My brother and I watched that movie like a million times, so I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it. I like watching that movie with my brother. So it's just because we quote it all, like, and I'm the villains in that movie, so I love the villain quotes. It's always good to play a villain. But even like the like right here where he's trying to tell Sid bye, he doesn't know how to even give him a handshake. He's just kind of like all awkward, and then tries to give him a pound in the back.
But to be fair, they have that happen in the end of the tour too. So maybe it's just Jason Segel.
Maybe it's Jason Segel just awkward. How tall is he? Like 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, that's probably what I guess. But yeah, man, he's a big dude.
He's a giant. Would anybody like a peanut?
Yeah, I mean, actually, compared to Lou Ferrigno, he was not too terribly shorter than him.
Yeah, and Lou's huge, dude.
Yeah, man, he has to be 7 foot. Yeah, we can look it up. I feel like they would definitely have his height in there.
Lou's who's
Jason Segel's.
Let's see, Jason Segel. No, I think he's I'm gonna guess about 6'4".
I'm gonna say 6'6".
6 over under. The line is 6'5". Let's see. You just got to go to the bio.
6'3" and 3/4.
So I went over by a quarter, but yeah, him is still tall.
All right, now let's see Lou Ferrigno.
I think I think it said on Pumping Iron he's 6'8", but over time I bet he's like 6'6". But they do blow him up, and they exaggerate a little bit in Pumping Iron, which is a great movie, by the way. Great documentary, just Franco Columbo and Arnold Schwarzenegger taking a shower together. It just says he's 6'4" on
6'4".
Yeah, 6'4".
Okay, so wow, Jason Segel is not that much.
But I mean, Lewis is like huge. Like,
oh yeah, he's
like side to side. I have evidence. I have a photo with Big Lou. Great shape, by the way. That guy could still like crush your head like a watermelon. Like,
that's not scary at all.
He's freaking massive. You don't want to see him get angry. Like having clients that are celebrities that people know about him, like your best friend knows about him, and it just says quotes from the movies at you about him. That's gotta be tough. Like, hey,
right?
Are you talking
yeah, exactly, man. Like he, yeah. That's even Sydney said it. Like, you won't like him when he's angry, and he's like making fun of it and everything.
Hey, one of the coworkers here is a one from the blast from the past. She's Kim Whitley. You remember her? Big in the 90s. She was big in the 90s. She was more on shows, I believe.
Give me 1 second. I know who you're talking about because I saw her name.
I think she might have been like a child actor too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, she goes all the way back. Early 90s.
Rango, Fist Fight.
Well, I remember her from My Brother and Me and other stuff like that. So she
Baby Shark's Big Show. We on the same? You said Kim Whitley?
Yeah. Next Friday she's in it. I remember her from a lot of stuff. Nutty Professor the Clown's Party Guest. She sticks out to me. She's always has like that spunky energy. Yeah. I Love You Man, female coworker. Yeah, that's her. She's in Black Dynamite, Honeybee. Yeah, she's maybe she was a stand-up. I can't remember. I know her from like the 90s. I remember she was in it, and I was like, oh, look who's there. I remember her.
So she was in the second Clumps.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Married with Children.
Maybe it's just me I've seen her just a bunch of times. There's like dude Nelson Franklin, Sydney's buddy. He came out on. He's on Blackish.
Well, she was on the Parkers too. Let me see her. Oh man. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
You remember? Yeah, she's got a familiar.
She most definitely does. Yeah.
I want to know how David Krumholtz just came in. He's just randomly in this movie.
Just randomly.
Yeah, like him and that's what I was saying. Him and like him and the other guy Nelson. Like they're just like Nelson Franklin. They're just randomly in this movie because he's only
Dave?
they're just the buddies, right? Just I feel like they just called him up like, hey, do you want to be in this movie? It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. It feels like that to me. Like, hey, just go up, like go as you are. Don't get in shape. Don't go. Just go come out of bed, come shoot the scene, and that's it. That's your guy. You're a guy. You're playing a guy.
Yeah. Dude, so who does he play?
Ben, we're gonna have to learn instruments. What's up?
I'm telling yeah, right.
We are. We're gonna have to learn.
David Wayne. He wrote and directed Wet Hot American Summer. You've seen that?
A long time ago, the original one. I haven't seen the new one.
Yeah, they also had First Day of Camp, and then 10 years later they had two, and Paul Rudd was in both of those. Um, let's see here, but he was in I Love You Man. Let's see, 2009. Wedding Photographer. What's that?
Suck it, Gil. He grabs his like crotch. Sorry, I'm watching the movie.
But yeah, man, shout out to David Wayne. He's normally a writer director, and he was
so he's in the movie.
Yeah, he's the wedding photographer.
Ah, that's cool.
Melissa Roch. That's another name that sounds familiar.
I feel like this is a friend movie too. Like this is a friendship movie, but I feel like the people that are in the movie are like all connected, all know each other. You know, like they're all friends.
Yeah,
like a writer somewhere, or they've been in something else.
I feel like Craig Robinson should have been in this movie.
It feels like a Craig Robinson movie, right?
Yeah, and then he would have been a repeat offender. I was almost kind of sad.
He's gonna repeat real bad for us.
Oh, he's gotta.
He's the offender. He's Gosling is the offender of the most, but
he's gonna get so, thus far. But yeah.
Oh man, I'm losing you. I can't see, so I can't tell what's frozen.
Yeah, man.
There you are. Sorry, you froze a little bit.
Okay, and maybe it was just.
You're good. You're good. Go.
All right, cool. But yeah,
I think the interaction with the characters here, like it shows you like how I mean, this is Peter's story, and how he met Sydney. So it's a romance. It's a romance movie about two guys like falling heterosexually in love, like they're just two guys like brothers kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I personally love it because there's certain things about this movie has certain qualities. It has a certain like beauty to it, and like an honesty to it. Like, you know, the way Sydney brings back things on Peter is not to be mean or rude. It's like constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And they're not fighting with each other. They don't fight. And I still can't believe you haven't brought this up yet, but Peter's impressions kind of remind you of somebody.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Well, you know what's funny too is like, it's not like Peter comes from a broken home or anything like that. There's no. I was just kind of thinking about that too. Like he had two parents that seemed very loving. He had a brother. And he's like, oh, he's 8 years younger than me. But that's not even that bad. He's like, oh, we barely grew up together. I mean,
yeah, he says that because he starts telling him about the truth.
Yeah,
Peter had trouble making. The truth is, Peter had trouble making friends. Not Robbie over here. Yeah, but he probably wanted to suck their dicks.
Yeah,
but even like it doesn't offend Robbie. It offends Peter and his mother. And then because Robbie goes, yeah, I did. It's like that's the relationship. Sorry to interrupt. That scene cracks me up.
Yeah, so it just yeah, I just noticed that and thought that was an interesting kind of little tidbit. Because normally you have movies like that, you're like, oh yeah, no, I didn't. You kind of like your case, like you grew up around women, so you kind of have that, like, oh, I love The Devil Wears Prada, kind of stuff. Like you watch those kind of those movies, and it feels like Peter, like there's nothing wrong with Peter. There's really nothing that needs to be fixed necessarily. I mean, yeah, because I know growing up, like I still have friends that I that I grew up with. Do I talk to him on a regular basis? Yeah. Do I talk to him every day? No. Do I don't get to see him as much, but I just, you just kind of attribute that to growing up, and you see him when you see him, and enjoy the time that you have with him. Luckily, man, I have a pretty easy time, like just being able to pick up where we left it off. Like it's not like, oh, you're like, oh, hey, how you doing? You catch up and uh, figure out how life's going aside from what you see on Facebook.
Yeah.
And you know, uh, then you just start bullshitting. Like that's the
I do love that though. I
yeah
love the where we last left off. I love the like. I just love that there's no. I don't have to put this fluff on. Like I love that like I know you and you know me and we're moving from here.
yep
And it's like, and if it's you do something that's uncharacteristic for me, I don't really need to go too deep into that because I
yeah
know where you're at this point in your life and you've shared enough with me that I don't need to judge you on your actions. Same thing goes around with me. One of my good friends, and she's a female. I've been friends with her for a long time, and the thing, her and I, she's just brute honest with me, and even like when she talked about like she would never complain to me about guys she was dating. She would just be like, this guy, because this, and if I was dating somebody, I wouldn't tell her anything like, oh, we're just just like we were childhood friends, and but the way she is like with her like the honesty about the way she's just with me, I'm like, yeah, like I don't like no one. Like it would annoy me if someone else said it, but she said it, so I'm like, all right, yeah, I get it. We share the same kind of verbiage, like the same kind of like it's okay, like we get each other, and and that's what I like about it. That whole like just relationships. That's why in your 30s, it's like some people want to feel like I'm successful, or look, I may have not done this, but I've done this, or I'm more like I'm happy we woke up today. Let's keep going. That's the bare minimum, and let's make it stack on from there. Where I feel like a lot of people, especially as I'm getting older, like it is funny when someone's bullshitting me because I got that smells what the rock cooks you beak, and when someone's BSing me, like it's real. Like I already get pissed off, you're wasting my time. So I make it real apparent that I know you're bullshitting me, and then they'll just kind of be like, "Oh shit, you don't care." I'm like, "Well, no, you're lying to me. Like I don't want to." And if you're not lying, then I don't need to hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. It's okay. Or they'll try to persuade me. I even like the confidence that Peter has when he talks to Barry at the sushi store at the restaurant, and he's like, my buddy, Sydney and I, and before he always had trouble talking to Barry. Now he doesn't care, and Barry still John Favreau is just such a dick, man, and he also
yeah
likes this.
he plays it so well, man. He really does. Like he kills that role. I think that's why I liked him so much in Couples Retreat as well. Like he had that. What's funny is like he almost kind you. He reminds you of Jeremy Piven just a little bit.
A
Like I
little
feel like
bit.
Jeremy Piven could play that role perfectly, but he can also kind of play that like guy that he's like that smooth talker, whereas Barry is just like blunt, like fuck off. Like,
Well,
he says
yeah,
it
I
right
get
to his face,
where Jeremy Piven character might be a little bit more colorful, telling you
even
off.
even from old school, like that's kind of like his I don't want to say sleazeball, but that's kind of like the best way to
Nah, man, Jeremy Piven
kind
has
of put
some
it.
pretty good. He has some pretty good sleazeball roles.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
even in
like,
Judgment
but
Night, like he's not a sleaze. Well, he is kind of sleazeball, but he has like this like car salesman personality where you're like,
like, dude. Well, speaking of car salesman, The Goods, man. He is perfect in that movie.
that's a great movie.
It really is, man. Like
The-
uh, it's a one of the best comedies I think about car sales. Like I think it's
yeah,
hilarious.
I do like that his portrayal is very though, like the restaurant where he's like, yeah, I said we stop by. Is that a fucking stop by? We're having
It's a,
dinner. It's a formal dinner.
it's a engagement dinner, and she's like, "I thought this was a drop by."
But you know
Uh,
what? Like, so Jeremy Piven as the husband, it wouldn't have gone as far as this John
no, no.
Favreau character,
John
because
Favreau has a stature, dude. Like
no, that's what I'm
he's
saying. Yeah, because he's bigger, and you can actually see Barry being that guy that like he only has money. That's why, because you don't really pick up on that she's a gold digger. Like you pick, I mean, it's in your face, but you don't ever talk about it. You never like,
who's
it.
that? Who's a gold digger?
Jane Presley,
Oh,
her
really?
character, yeah, um,
Oh,
yeah, Denise, she like she's a gold digger.
oh, really?
Yeah, dude. But she owns that restaurant. I mean, that boutique. But it's like, yeah, Barry probably financed it. but that's why he's such a dick, because he's like they've been married for so long, and he's just like, whatever. It's like she's beautiful and stuff, and he still cheats her because he's already tired of her, like I guess I'm assuming. But like with Sid goes, yeah, guy with the hot wife, the smoking wife. Did you hear what Haley had to say about you? Oh, was that the smoking hot wife? Like,
yeah. She didn't even care about the other guys. Like, okay, wonderful.
But it does, man.
Even when they were playing golf, and this is my worst nightmare.
This is my nightmare. This is my nightmare. The thing about that, I've had friends try to like set me up when I was really young, and I didn't like that. Like it's kind of like you get to a point where I was already like with where I'd be with like the talking to her, the girl, and I'd be like, well, I can see this ain't going anywhere. So yeah, well, it was nice to meet you, or something like that. Like it's like your friends trying to set you up, and I'm like, nah, don't play matchmaker. Just something can tell you like, I know this guy likes this and this girl, or vice versa. These two guys, they have something in common, and maybe they should meet or something. But I don't. If I'm close and someone needs a little shove, I'll do that. My friend, we're all hanging out or something. But I just stay away. Like, nah, like I don't want to give advice on relationships. No. Oh wow, this little boy over here. Ben, you're gonna have to hold the fort. I need to go tend to my child.
Go for it, my friend.
All right, gotta go to my little man.
So, like I said, I think we're probably gonna be wrapping up. I love you, man. I know we kind of been all over the place, talking about Hector and such, but one thing that is always fun to do whenever you are on IMDb is going to the trivia and seeing what kind of crazy trivia is going on here. All right, let's see here. J.K. Simmons, who plays Paul Rudd and Andy Samberg's father, is only 14 years older than Rudd. And let's just say that, Paul Rudd ages like a fine wine. He looks the same as he did in Clueless, as he did in Overnight Air. Is that the name of that movie? I can't. It's with Reese Witherspoon. Let's take a look. See a little bit of Paul Rudd's history here. I think it was Overnight Air. Let's check. How's everything on your end, buddy? Oh, he's gone again. Let's see here. Overnight Delivery. That's what it was. Very good movie, Paul Rudd.
Like Overnight Air?
Yeah, or Overnight Delivery.
It's been a long time.
Is that Reese Witherspoon?
Reese Witherspoon. There you go. I was like, oh, okay.
But I was just saying that he ages like fine wine. It doesn't look like he looks the same in those movies as he does now.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Just a few more lines on the. He looked at the sun a little bit, but nothing too bad.
He's looked the same for a long time. But even like when he played what's his name in Clueless.
Yeah.
For his name, he was also like, he was younger, but he was playing an older guy too. So he was kind of always playing like.
Yeah, he was like 20.
Yeah, he's always playing like older roles, and then he kind of just aged into his roles, and now he is the Paul Rudd that we know. That Hank Pym, huh?
Well, Scott Lang.
Scott Lang.
Yeah. Did you see him in that TV show, Living with Myself?
No, I need to watch it. I heard it was good.
It is really good. What else was it? So, okay, quick question on Clueless. What is she about to graduate?
Yeah, I don't know, because she's 16. I'll be 16 in May, so she's probably a junior. Oh God, are we finding something out? Her stepbrother. That's her step. And that's another thing. That's her stepbrother.
No, that's not her stepbrother.
Isn't her stepbrother?
No.
Oh no, he works for
like
the dad.
The intern.
Yeah.
So if he's interning, I mean, you'd have to assume he's at least in college.
20 at least
I would
20.
Think. Interesting.
So she's 15. Well, I am Mexican, Ben, and we do have the quinceañeras. That's when a woman that's when a girl becomes a woman. So no, I'm joking. I'm totally. That's true. So quinceañeras, but
okay. So in real life, how much older was Paul Rudd than
Alicia Silverstone? They're probably the same age.
69 for Paul Rudd. So he just turned 50. And
what year was Alicia Silverstone born?
Let's see here.
This is my nightmare. This is my nightmare.
Josh was his name. Oh, have you watched Moon yet?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Good. It's gonna be easy for us to segue into our new movie because of something like Moon, where Moon was very art piece almost, and into tours like that.
76.
76. So he's 7 years.
So
So how old was he?
so in 60, so in 99 he would have been 30, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
in 99 he would have been 30. So this was 95. So he was 26 and she was 20 something.
At 7, she was 19.
She was no.
She was
Oh, in
born.
95. Yeah. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. She was 19. So 19 and 26. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't.
Better in real life, but in the
no, in the movie, it seems like. But I mean, yeah, that's how that is. Um, what do you call it? Can you hear Maxwell in the background?
no.
All right, good. He's like yelling my name, like not yelling, but he's like, now he is.
Oh, I
All
hear
right,
him
one more
now.
time. Keep talking about the lovely Paul Rudd.
Yeah, we'll do. Yes. So Paul Rudd. Oof. Yep. Dang. That is alive. So just out of curiosity, um, typed down how old was Cher in Clueless, and said her age was 15. Aliases Cher by everyone. Occupation, student, status, alive. 11 more rows. Okay, so this is from the wiki. All right. Um, yeah, man, just a strange. Just looking back on that, I mean, and watching that movie younger, it's just like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Like, oh, Paul Rudd's such a nice guy. But yeah. So, I Love You Man has ended on my end. So I think that'll be a nice little segue into end of the tour. Um, Another movie with Jason Segel. Um, this is our Jason Segel Appreciation Week. We were kind of kicking around the idea of doing I Love You Man and Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which I think would be a perfect comparison. You have Paul Rudd and Jason Segel in both movies, but I think the route that we took is going to be a lot more beneficial for side by side. I was just saying that um, comparing these two movies, we have Jason Segel in both of these movies. Um, we mentioned him, I think, last week, and I mentioned his part in This Is the End, where he has a very little part, but he just kind of mocks himself, which I think that's what that whole movie is kind of about. But he's like, "Oh no, I ate the cake. I wasn't supposed to." Like he said that's always the character he's
He
playing.
falls in the hole, right? He dies like they all because they all show their deaths.
Yeah.
He
He
falls in the
falls in
hole.
the hole. So I Love You Man, it's not necessarily that character. It's more of a laid back, chill, relaxed character. And then End of the Tour is just it's a biography kind
Dude,
of.
it's a
So
performance.
it is. He keeps that same tone throughout the entire movie. Like it was very impressive. It was an A24 movie, which I am part of an A24 like film group
group.
on Facebook now. Yeah. And everybody's like, "Oh, this is a great A24 movie." I can't remember what I watched recently that was like A24, but uh, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right too. It's not like A24 or something like that.
Yeah, I know, right. When they spell hate with H8.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, but no, I was just saying that I Love You Man was ending on my end, so I was like, "Oh, we can transfer over to End of the Tour now."
Yes.
Um, And what a movie that was, man. I finished that up before we got on here, and I
Well,
mean, it's a
just
real thinker. What's up?
and I was gonna say I was gonna say because I just wanted to say about I was broken up a little bit, but I didn't want to bring up with I Love You Man why there's like I said earlier there are things I like about it, but I really want to just find out what you liked about it so I was trying to compare what I liked about it.
Um, okay, so romantic comedies are set up to make you feel good. And this is a romantic comedy. So it's a feel good movie. That's what I like the most about it. It was funny. It made me laugh. I laughed out loud a couple times. I couldn't tell you exactly which part, but if I saw it,
Yeah.
I would know. It was mainly the people yelling at him to pick up his dog shit, which I thought was just a very strange response.
But his idea, his
Yeah, it
ideation
was
behind
just
it.
like, no, man. Uh,
Yeah, your dog
he
should pick
just
it up. I mean, there. I mean, I'll catch my neighbors in my neighborhood, not my like next to my house, but like somewhere in the 824, I believe is what the thing I just played it. Sorry, 824. I think is what
yeah.
you're saying. 828. But
Hmm.
anyways, the like my some neighbors will like two blocks down will come and like their dog will crap in my yard and I'll be right there looking at them. They'll be like, "Oh, I don't have anything to pick it up." Like, then why are you walking your dog on my grass? Like,
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
it's like
Well, and like I said, that's probably one of my only gripes with Sydney. Whenever he asked for the money, though, it felt so sleazy, man. Like it just felt like he wasn't supposed to do it. Like,
no,
oh,
I
it was like, oh, don't loan him the money, and then he turns around and does something like that for him. And that's the I think that's what's cool about the movie is you don't necessarily expect it to go that way. You're like, okay, this is where we have the conflict. That's my first thought whenever I saw that little bit like, oh, we're loaning money. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this is where things take a turn. In a male friendship. Oh no. You loaned him $8,000, never got it back. I'm on Judge Mathis. I've seen it 1,000
these a
times.
thousand times.
I was actually so to watch End of the Tour, I had to get Showtime. Shout out to my other Gmail. So I got a 30-day
30
free
days.
30-day
Yeah.
free trial. Please don't listen to the Showtime. I'm just joking. Don't find me out. But that was to watch End of the Tour, and then Tommy Boy was on, and I s- I put that on for like 10 minutes just to kind of wake up this morning. And man, alive, that movie is great. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I was setting
Yeah.
everything up and I'm good. No, but
Okay.
that
I
you got
was I was watching a little bit of Tommy Boy this morning. I guess is the synopsis of that. Uh, but yeah, man.
so that's why I mean other than the connection that I get from this movie about getting older and growing, like the things I love about Clerks 2 are in this movie too.
Yeah.
The honesty, it is a challenge, but
Yeah.
I love that it shows that there's still opportunities, there's still chances. Just it's like I mean when you get older, you people are I don't know, people get beat down, life beats you down. I don't know, some people just I like to hang out and talk and I like to listen and do stuff, but when I see that they're two different like people, but they can relate in a way, that's
Yeah.
what I like about that movie. And the fact that people see like Peter accepts Sydney right away, but basically Peter having to convince his new family or his friends that or like people from that are he's moving forward with that to accept Sydney. And that's the part that's the only thing I don't like about it. Like it's like it should just be their friendship, but you have such a little amount of time and there is kind of a deadline. And it does feel kind of like at one point I thought about it as like was Peter using Sydney just for that part? But it was never like that. It was more of the friendship kind of blossom, and they just went with it. And that's like
Yeah.
that's that. And I mean that's how I was when I was dating. When I date somebody, and I'd be like, man, I feel like you really like me, and I'd be like, I really like you. Why don't we just go faster? Not like step it up to another level. Let's just hang out. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know. I was dating like a bunch of party girls, so it's like they like want to go to bars and stuff. And I was like, no, let's go travel or something. Let's do something. But it wasn't. It was that's why I was like, it was never meant to be. But I think it's just like yeah, you got to accept your friends and you accept a lot of the people you want around and when you're comfortable in your older age, because we're not
Yeah.
old in your 30s and your 40s, and I don't even think you're old in your 50s or your 60s. It's whenever you want to be old, but I feel like your body, depending on how you take care of it, it will help you decide that decision. But I don't know. I like a lot of the there's kind of that fake cheesiness and I love you, man. But in this, there's no in the end of tour, there is no fake cheesiness, but there's a lot of um what is the word I'm looking for? Where there's a lot of status.
Yeah. There's a lot of like subtle things like that it's a
This is
very understated movie, but the dialogue is very heavy, man. Like it's deep. It gets you thinking. It's like watching, like, for me, man, for sure. Like I'm plugged into the TV. Like he's right. Like that's, if there wasn't an addiction that I have, oh yeah, it's watching TV. It's like but then again, I don't have his same kind of view on it. Whereas he feels like it just makes you want to sit alone and do all this other stuff. Yeah, I totally, I don't understand that point of view. But I gotta say, man, like it was right after I dropped out of college. I was just watching. I was just working at Domino's, man. I got a little time there where I was depressed for sure, and just wouldn't get out of bed, wouldn't do anything but go to work and come home. And that was it. And I watched a lot of The Office. Like The Office was the one thing that kind of got me up, got me laughing, kind of kept me going. So that's what I really like about TV is you can find something like that that just can, it's kind of background noise
But
after.
like I think he's talking about how it unplugs you though. Like you're
Oh
kind
no,
of
it does. But I
uh,
was able to plug back in because I was able to kind of get through that. I don't watch The Office all that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's
dude.
not even before it got taken off Netflix. Like, and I feel like that was kind of my comfort show. Like, if I had a blanket or something for my adult life, it was watching The Office. And so, yeah, man, I think, like I said, I definitely understand his views on you know being plugged into electronics and technology all the time.
Well,
But
we're kind of jumping in a lot into the movie. That's
yeah,
kind of already at the end. But just the beginning of the whole, like we'll get there because David Foster Wallace is the way I got like I said, I saw his interviews about him first, so I kind of
yeah,
knew background of him, and then watching Jason Segel, there's a part there where I don't even realize that's Jason Segel. I like he like does a great performance. Like it to me, this looks like it's gonna be a critically acclaimed. This looks like it was like a Sundance darling or something. It seems kind of like it had all that on it, and maybe that's why I didn't watch it at the theaters. And I'm a huge Jason Segel fan, but I just kind of was like, it probably doesn't look. It looks a little too like they're forcing it. And then watching it, I was like, holy shit, this is a thinker. This is a thinker. And this is
yeah.
one thing I like about this movie is like it's not going to be a lot of people. This is not your Fast and Furious crowd whatsoever. No Hector's in this one. Sorry.
No,
I forgot to say everything I was going to say. Instead of Hector, I should start casting my boy Cesar Garcia. He was in the Fast and Furious, I think like 7, but he's also Breaking Bad.
hey,
Give some love to other Latinos. But anyways, but seeing this movie and seeing like there's like it's a it's a great like journey, and it's also a biography too. So you get to compare. Like I don't know what David Lipsky personality is. I don't know how he is, but I can pick up a lot from him, from his actions. This is in the movie. It's all dialogue, but it's a lot of actions,
yeah,
and you have to pick up on them. This is one of those movies that they said something in the beginning, and you better remember it because if it comes back in the afternoon, I mean, and then later at the afternoon, if it comes back later in the movie, then you didn't catch it. You didn't catch it. It doesn't need to keep bringing it to your face, reminding you. It's just like,
yeah.
oh, there was this one part, and there's things like that. There's a lot of honesty in this movie. The score, I gotta talk about the score. I love the music, the music, the vibe they set for this movie. Like it's great. It's shot in Minnesota. They
It
go to
seems like it. Yeah,
they go to the Mall of America.
yeah.
This is it took me a minute to do the math because you
Oh,
find
St.
out
Paul. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
St. Paul, yeah. So you find out that uh spoilers that David Foster Wallace he committed suicide in the beginning
yeah,
of the movie, and it just says his death was 2008, and then it says 12 years later. So you got to do the math. That's 1996 in the movie.
yeah,
So it's not modern time. So you're watching everything, and as you're watching the movie. Kind of you're seeing this beginning. It's just like another I Love You Man, where it's a friendship starting, but you're seeing where they're at, and it's like this is a writer doing a piece on another writer. I love that the David Foster Wallace person, I can't say character, so the person that he had this awareness of like I can change the piece if I want. I can make because you're gonna write whatever you want, and he's right. This is an opinion. This is like somebody's tweet about somebody else, and he knows it. So that's where it come down to now. Where back then it was like a big deal to come out by Rolling Stones. Where nowadays it's like so and so said you did that, but whoa, like
yeah.
that's like it's the equivalency of that. We've dubbed down a lot, idiocracy style. But with this movie, like he's way aware of it. Like he has a personality. He's not even awkward at all. He's not awkward. It's more like David Lipsky's kind of the awkward person, the fish out of water. It's just kind of like that thing, where you're doing a documentary or an interview, and you're just supposed to be like a directing on the background, but you end up crossing over into the footage or into the story, and it becomes like now you're part of the story. But it that's what I got from here, like where Lipsky was supposed to be the fly on the wall, but then all of a sudden the fly on the wall became part of the conversation. And that's where I got it, where I was like, damn, this is pretty cool. This is deep. This is a deep movie. You can watch it, and I think you can just, unless you've been in certain scenarios and certain situations, like I think they even bring it up. They have like these jobs aren't normal jobs.
Yeah,
like they bring it up sometime, and they're like it's not, we're not like, the like when he talks about the bandana, they bring that up. The whole story about the heroin addiction, like you kind of know it's there, but is it until the end where it's just like a 2-minute conversation piece where it's like that was the whole thing we were holding on to, and that was it, that's all we got. But that's not the thing. That the whole how we got there is the story. And you get to see this because even like, I don't know, Wallace, he seems to be territorial, but at the same time, the things that he doesn't like are things that bug him about himself, I'm assuming, because he starts to change a little bit. Like when that what's her name? What's the actress's name? I do love that Joan Cusack is the liaison in this movie. Yeah. Betsy, Mickey Sumner, and the fan was Julie Mammy Gummer.
Yeah, so that's Meryl Streep's daughter.
Ah, that's why that face looks so familiar.
Yeah.
It looks like her. Yeah. Get ready. She's been in Ricky and the Flash 2015, The Ward 2010, Side Effects 2013, The Lifeguard 2013. She's been around for a minute. Oh, she's my age. Let's see. And then the other actress, Mickey Sumner. Her 4 villains are Frances Ha, Sophie 2012, Snowpiercer, The Show, Best Till 2020-2021, Battle of the Sexes. She plays Valerie Zigin plus 2017 and end of the tour. But her character Betsy, you see the kind of the jealousy, and well, I don't know if it's jealousy. It's just, I mean, but I feel like the David Lipsky does it to himself. He brings everything on. It's like, it's kind of weird. It's like the story starts evolving with him in it.
Yeah, I think his girlfriend's probably right that he's kind of a flirt and he doesn't mean to. I think that's more or less what it was. Not that he was necessarily coming on to her. No, I think he had it in the back of his mind, but I don't think he was intentionally coming on to her. No.
He's not. That's why David Wallace says that's why you got a girl in L.A.
So I know, but that's just what that's how David Wallace perceives it, because he even says like, "Oh, you asked for her address." It's like, no, I asked for her email address to do it about you, and that is what he did.
You got to remember, this is a timepiece. This is 1996.
Yeah.
So to have someone's physical address was the norm. It was okay. But
I know that's what I'm saying. But I mean, if you have the email address, that's the. But I'm just saying. I know that's the norm, but it's just. I don't think that he was intentionally hitting it. Was he flirting with her? Yeah, for sure. But was he trying to get in her pants? It's like, no. And then he does mention, but I think that's just showing David Foster Wallace overthinking it. And that's what he even says that later on. Like, that's one of his fatal flaws, is that he just like, he's sitting there just thinking and thinking and thinking and, all this other stuff. But sometimes you can overthink. Sometimes it's so you're thinking so much that it's detrimental.
But that's what I also gathered, that he's a normal guy, and that's why I think pisses off a lot of the.
But he's not. He isn't. Yeah, he's a normal guy.
He's a normal guy.
No, he does normal guy things, but he's not a normal guy. No.
I don't know, man. I see. I get what you're saying.
I
get what you're saying.
Is he a normal guy? No matter how the way he thinks about the way he. I mean, like I said, his mom was an English major. His dad was a philosopher. So
that's a good combo.
You yeah, exactly, man. So I mean, I think that.
Okay, maybe this movie did do a good part of it, like, of her, because now I'm thinking about it. She does walk up to him and give him the book, so she initiates it. So it seems like, oh, they're gonna. But she even says, would David mind? And he says, no, he wouldn't mind. So it's like I mean, I've been in that scenario a lot. Like, well, if you're from the border, this someone hitting on your chick is like that's the norm. Where you're like small short story. Like when one of my
But
friends from
sorry, go for it.
I was gonna say one of my friends, so-called friends. One time I was when I was with my girlfriend, my phone died, and I used her number to call him to tell him like, oh hey, just like drop something off or pick something up for her. I was like, it'll be there. And then as I hung up, I go, watch, he's gonna call you later. And when he calls you later, just watch, he's gonna try to say this to that. And then he ended up calling her later that night. And I was at work and I got back and he's like, how'd you know he's gonna call me? I was like, that's what he does. That's his thing. Like now he got your number. Like he's just gonna call you. Like that's what he does to everybody. He's like, but she's like, well, I was like, yeah, that's like the norm. That's why I was like, I told him like, erase your number, and he didn't do it. Like he's tried to play it off like, oh hey, I was we talked earlier, and I is everything okay? Or it's like, did everything come in? Or I forgot, it was like some kind of package, and he was just trying to do it. And I was like, I told him, I was like, why are you calling her? Like you don't need to call her. We're 19, but at the same time, it's one of those things where somebody gets the chance to slide in, he's gonna do it. And I feel like that's what I got from here.
And you could say that, you could definitely interpret it that way too, and I think it's kind of open to interpretation.
That's what I'm saying. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those open-ended deals, like, oh, who's right in the situation. But I think that just the way that David Lipsky is thinking, he's thinking about moving forward with his career. I mean, even at the end, I mean, he closes the door and then runs through and lists off all these items. It's almost like even at the end, like he was still trying to be sneaky. So after he's already denied, like, oh no, you may not talk to my parents, he's gonna, oh yeah, David wouldn't mind. He would do that little lie to get more of what he needed as well. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much like he would say that so he could get her email address so he could get more information. Because I mean, even he has his editor on his back, calling him stuff like that. I don't see. I feel more of jealousy coming from David Lipsky than anything else. And that may have translated a little bit into it. You could subconsciously like, oh, okay, this guy's interested. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of how he's asserting dominance, kind of thing. And they both kind of like, oh, you're a handsome guy. Oh no, you're a handsome guy. They kind of do that kind of thing.
I'll tell you this though. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, whenever he like starts drinking the beer right after he does that, like that was the power move. That was kind of the dick move that he started. But I feel like he was just doing what he thought he needed to do beforehand. So, he was kind of going back and forth, like, oh, I like this guy. Oh, I need to get this done. Oh, I like this guy.
I saw it there, but I didn't focus on that. But that beer, that solidified the, what do you call it, Lipsky's move that he was trying to hit on her. That was because he went in there only going in for pop. Once he pulled out the beer, knowing that Wallace doesn't drink. So it's either you're pulling out the beer to see if Wallace will drink, or you're pissed off because you didn't get your way. So that action to me right there showed that he was hitting on her, because David called him out on it. Wallace called him out on it. He didn't know, and nobody likes being called out, and he got called out on that.
But see, I feel like that he would have done that out of spite too. Like it could go both ways. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He would have gotten, because he confronted him. I mean, he was just going in there to get some soda.
And I'll say this: it is Wallace is being territorial, because he does say, "Hey, I told you we dated." Like he is being territorial. So I will say that Lipsky didn't cross the line, but he put the line there. Like, hey, here's the line. And so like that move, that was a power move that he tried to do, but it really, like, to be honest with you, like he did that like pissed off. Like that's that move that you do that you're just like, I don't give a fuck, like.
Yeah, but I feel like that he's pissed off that I don't think it's for the same. I don't think it's because he got rejected or called out because of David Wallace, because David Wallace did it. He was whispering. They didn't know what was going on. If he was trying to make a big deal about it, if he really felt all that slighted.
You don't have to be like that though. You could do that's what they do. They also, and you pick up, they don't know each other. They're still trying to figure it out. So it wasn't like he was like, I'm dreading you. I'm ready, because he still needs. You're right. He still needs the interview, so he's not going to just shed himself. But look at his actions, and it starts turning. And this is the thing I like about this story. It starts turning from this interview, and it starts turning for Lipsky. It starts doing like a 180 on him, and where it's like you think the focus is Wallace, and it's really not. It's Lipsky.
It's Lipsky, yeah. And here's another thing too, because he gives out that little bit of information about his, girlfriends, and then Wallace turns it on him. Yeah. And that's essentially what Lipsky is going to do to him if he gives any kind of information out that, he thinks is kind of racy. So that maybe Wallace just kind of like solidifying like, hey, you're not going to do this either. Like, I don't know, man. I don't.
I think that's what I think that's what it's for.
Yeah, I think Wallace just misinterpreted it. I don't think that either one of them were, in the right, but Wallace was probably more in the wrong, I think, out of that situation.
I don't know. I think Wallace is okay. I think we can pick up that I'm not really backing him up, but dude, I got you. He's got a good. I could smell him from here. I gotta change him. But right, I'm sorry, I've got another break.
No worries, no worries. But yeah, no, I think that Jason Segel as David Foster Wallace was a great choice. I feel that David Lipsky is more jealous of anything, just because he's like, he wrote this book, something he really put a lot of time and investment in, and something that he thought was a really good, thought-provoking book, and then he is kind of put down by the books. What was it? The book awards are sealed, and it's going to be Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace, all this other stuff. So he just kind of gets put down from the beginning, and he just kind of uses his leverage as a Rolling Stones interviewer to kind of take on this, to meet this writer. It is about David Lipsky. It's about him going and seeking this person out and finding out what's so great about him. And this wasn't necessarily for the Rolling Stones. Whether he thought this was going to be a good idea or not is, I think it's kind of up in the air. I think it was more. I really do think it was just all for him. It wasn't to have a good piece or a good article. It wasn't anything like that. He was just he kind of felt like a spited author, and he needed to go meet this gentleman who made this amazing book. One thing that I thought was interesting too is whenever I think there's a part where Betsy and Dave and David are, and oh gosh, what's her name? Let's see here. Julie. Whenever they're all in the car together, and Lipsky says something along the lines of like, "Oh, this is our pneumonia cigarette ride," or something like that, and she says, "Oh, that sounds like something David would say." So I feel like Lipsky is really trying to kind of imitate David Foster Wallace and kind of get in his head and understand like how did he create this. Like I said, wholeheartedly believe this interview was for David Lipsky. That is my stance on this, without a doubt. But yes, I mean, this is a fantastic movie, and you just kind of get to dive into the mind of somebody who just feels alone in a world. I think you, like I said, he kind of grew up on television and everything like that. I was just saying that I think that you were right that this show or this movie is all about David Lipsky, and also, I don't think, I think he took the interview because he thought that he could meet David Foster Wallace. I don't think he really had any intention of doing a interview like that. He just wanted to go meet this guy. He felt like a slighted author. I can't hear you.
There you go. Sorry, I had to, but to talk about that part, what do you call it? You're right. It does feel like it's more like you want to meet your. He's in New York, and this is real quick to go back about the scene. Right, what also throws me off is the Meryl Streep, or what's her name? Her daughter. What's her?
Julie in the movie.
Julie. She is the fan, so it's like she's there for Wallace, and it looks like Betsy's kind of just up for grabs, and it's really not like that. It throws you off because Julie's there, and it keeps him. So in hindsight, now that when I'm thinking about it, there's kind of like a weird, it's a really big miscommunication with everybody. So I think that movie does that very well, because now there's a Julie Lair I'm thinking about. And I'm like, no, it's supposed to do that. We're supposed to have all these as opinions. Now, when you're seeing Lipsky, if you're gonna go through his stuff, I honestly, what you just said, I think he's just there to hang out. It's also like he's trying to, the way he takes the notes real quick. I think I feel like it's just the homework part of what he's trying to do. And I'm trying to, so there's two parts I got to answer for what the end, where he's recording everything he sees. Now, I would do that if 1996, if I had this opportunity to meet, I guess just George Carlin, let's just say like that. And sixth grade me got to meet him, but I had a adult mindish. And he was like, hey, it was a good hangout, but all of a sudden he's like, well, we got to go. And I don't have a camcorder. And, it's just be quicker for me to look around and be like, dude, he's got this, he's got that, he's got that. So I can remember what he has there. Now, I can see him. That's why I would do it. I can see him doing that technique, but also I can see him doing it like having something for later on to add to the story, using it. Cause I think that's what I love about Wallace. He knows, like, it's not like he's staying grounded. And I was expecting him to go crazy. I was expecting some break scene. He doesn't have any of that. He's flatlined the whole way. And he's just more of a kind of a buddy in this one too. And I love you, man. There is a little growth in Sydney, because he does have to kind of grow up a little bit, where this one, Wallace, is just, he's flatlined, and Sydney has all his energy. He's got opinions. He's, one of my favorite lines is when he takes Peter to the man cave, and that lady, the D4C, is walking out, and he goes, oh, she's cute. Yeah, I fucked her. Like, it's just like, it's just a stupid, it's not even a throwaway line. It's just like guys just do shit like that,
Yeah.
And then it's like he's his buddy, so he does that. So you have this personality there with the Sydney, where this David Wallace, like, he had something you had to like look at, you have to follow. There's material on Wallace, we can compare it, and I feel like he has him pretty legit. And I don't know how tall Wallace is, if he's a big guy too. I think the way the story goes, it kind of the whole football player thing. He's at least 6 foot or something, so he is kind of a bigger guy. But the whole thing, I think the Lipsky is like, it's his journey. And I think about, we start off with him, but it's a friendship. So there's two sides to this story.
Yeah.
And it seems like the 12 years is just the beginning part of their story. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, his shoe, I imagine they have correspondence, writing letters back and forth, and he had to have told him what he thought about his book. So there definitely has to be some kind of friendship there. What I thought was pretty, I don't know how they did it, but Jesse Eisenberg didn't look like the younger Jesse Eisenberg at all. Like it looked like he was a different person.
Oh, the older version?
Yeah, the older version of him.
The haircut.
The one from 2008. Yeah. And it was like it looked like they aged him too, some way, shape, or form. I don't know. Because it would have been what, 10 years later?
So he'd be, it'd be, so he'd be, if he was 20, he was 30, so he'd be 40. So just 10 years, or 42 if it was 12 years. But what do you call it? Jesse Eisenberg, I've seen a lot of his movies, or he's been in them. I don't not like him. I don't hate him. He's there for me.
Zombieland solidified it for me. That's where I was like, okay, I'm a fan of this guy, just because he was able to do like that quirky, and that's kind of like his thing now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
quirky.
He does have some serious roles. Zombieland is just it's a great cast. It's a great movie in general. So I feel like anybody in that movie, I'm not putting him down. He does have a lot of serious acting roles. But with him, like, I don't ever get put off that he's in a movie. It's like I'm kind of like, okay. So here his The Social Network, because he does the Mark Zuckerberg, and then now that we kind of know more or less what Mark Zuckerberg's like, we're like, nah, Jesse Eisenberg's way better than Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
this is the awkwardness. Zombieland, The Squid and the Whale, I've seen that one, and The Double. I haven't seen The Double. He's known for this one, but this guy's actually I think this guy's a legit actor, man. Damn, he has a lot of stuff. How much does 48 credits for actor?
Yeah, and then let's see here. He was in Now You See Me. So that was one that he was
sequel.
30 Minutes or Less. Let's see, there's another one that he did, Adventureland. Him and Zombieland were kind of the same. I feel like I'm missing another one.
Well, I mean, one was like a drama and the other one was like a action horror.
Yeah, let's see here.
The Squid and the Whale. I've seen this movie before. This is one of the family of writers, I think. Two young boys dealing with their parents. Oh no, the divorce. And I've seen it. Yeah. I do like that this is a 90s movies, man. Like that's one thing they really they don't throw it in your face, but it's got a lot of 90s feel to
it. There's one thing that I saw that just kind of that got me, and it's stupid, but it was that Chevy at the end whenever they were in the airport parking lot. It was like a 2008 Chevy.
Oh, so you
well, no, it was probably later year than that, but it had like the square, like it was a new one, and it was like right there in the shot. Like you couldn't have moved that truck.
Was it white?
No, it was like blue.
Oh
like
no, I didn't see it then. I thought I saw something. But
so it kind of blended in, but not really. Like it.
Yeah, and they smoke a lot of cigarettes too. So like they have a lot of the similar habits, And but I think in his own respect, I think Wallace, he's established and he doesn't want to get too big over his head. But I think by doing that, it's making him become more mystique, and it's giving him that what is he more about? So he even talks about just getting laid. Like he's like, I just want to get laid, but I want the girl to do it to me. It's like, that is kind of the best way to do it. But even at that, this guy's still a person. It's still like it doesn't just happen to him. I think he says, I want the rock star life or something like that. And it's like he doesn't get it. And I like this movie a lot. The ambiance. There's one part where I realized I'm like they're talking nonstop, but I'm entertained. Like I'm in this movie.
This is a great movie to have the subtitles on for sure.
Yes. Oh, dude, I love this. On I Love You, Man, some of the words were kind of mixed. I was like, that's not the right word, but on this one, I think they were perfect.
Yeah.
Like when you hear when you read the word and you hear like, no, I don't know what got it wrong, the streaming service or the actual TV or something, but man, I love this kind of movie, man. I wonder. Let's see. I wonder how this performed.
It did. Oh, let's see here.
Well, the box office it made 3 million, but I wonder how much it cost.
Oh, probably around that. I bet you it didn't.
You think this was? You think this was like a $200,000 movie?
No, this is more than that for sure.
Let's see. This debuted in 2015 Sundance Film Festival and was theatrically released on July 31st, 2015 by A24 to critical acclaim, particularly for the performance of Segel. Yeah, he received Best Actor nominations from various award groups, including the Independent Spirit Award for Best Male Lead. He does a great job, man. You definitely don't feel that there's Jason Segel, man.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Golden Trailer. Have you been able to find it? How much it costs to make?
No, I'm looking around. I picked David Foster Wallace, but let me see if I can find out. I was just reading the plot. Let's see. Development. So it's a memoir. All through, of course, you end up becoming yourself. Was a New York Times bestseller and NPR Best Book of the Year. So that's the thing, man. I feel like if we're getting to see a little bit of Lipsky in here, I feel like he is doing this for all that,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean it's based off his book, so and that's what you start off with. I mean it's about David Foster Wallace, but it's about David Lipsky.
Mm-hmm. But it's like you have to kind of pick up on it. Like I don't,
because I mean, would he have? Let's see. First read the book in 2011. When was the book? I mean, if it was, yeah, publication date 2010. So, I mean, he's writing about Wallace, but he wouldn't have written that book if he hadn't committed suicide,
Yeah.
I at least that kind of feels like what's going on here. But I mean, that's not to say that's a bad thing or anything like that. I'm just saying that was the catalyst for it. It's not necessarily.
Let's see if I can just freaking cost.
Let's see. Least critical.
Let's see. Let's do a little research real quick. Oh, so it said they spent 2.1 million.
Okay.
And they filmed it in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Oh, box office 3. Okay, yeah, no.
So it's 3 million on the box office. So they made at least 900,000 or according. I mean, but marketing.
I feel like it got a limited release too. I don't feel like this is a wide release kind of film.
I will be happy to track this movie down and add it to my collection because I'm happy we picked this one for Jason Segel because this is something different.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying earlier too. I feel like this was a good comparison because you kind of get both ends. We kind of did that with Ryan Gosling too.
I was gonna say, yeah.
At least with Only God Forgives and The Nice Guys, where he plays two totally different characters. And it's good to see that these actors have the range that they do, you know. Uh, but yeah, man, do you want to get to rating them?
Let's go rating. I started the timer late. Where
really?
you? Yeah, where are you at on the timer? Because I know did I Love You Man already finish?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm 20. I was probably like 10 minutes into it whenever we started.
Yeah. So I've had this one. I have timed us at 110. And yeah, let's get started though. Let's see what we got. And I'm at 30 minutes. Yeah. So I have the end of the tour been playing for 35 minutes. So we're about 2 hours. We're getting close. So rating wise, let's see. My favorite movie, I Love You Man, as a 7 out of 10 out of 196,048 votes on IMDb.
Let me see here.
So this is where it gets personal, everybody.
Yeah. Well, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Ah.
Yeah. So I Love You Man on Rotten Tomatoes has an 83% tomato meter out of 209 reviews, and then a 74% audience score out of 250,000 ratings. I think that's pretty reasonable. What do you think?
I just think if it's in my eyes, because obviously everything backwards, I would prefer the other way, 75, 80, 83, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think it's more of an audience movie than a critics movie, but if they like it.
I could see where people are like, oh, it may be a little too cheesy at moments, to kind of like the slap of the bass, man. Like some people may get annoyed by that, you know, if you keep on doing it too much, but that's just it's just stupid in my opinion. But
slapping the bass.
Slap of the bass. I Love You Man. This is the critic consensus on I Love You Man is I Love You Man makes the most of its simple premise due to the heartfelt and hilarious performances of Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. And I think that is a solid critics consensus. What do you think there, CJ?
No, that's right. It's heartfelt, hilarious performance. Yeah, this is a comedy. I think of like I love Bowfinger. That's a good movie I love, and I think that's a parody of a comedy, but that's a comedy. I think makes you laugh, and I feel like this movie does that. It's more of a wittier. There's not so slapstick, but there are some slapstick moments where this is like really funny.
This is a romantic comedy. I mean, through and through. Whether you want to call it that or not, I mean it's gonna be a romantic comedy.
It's a bromance disguised in a romance.
Let's just call it what it is. I bet you IMDb even calls it that, a romantic comedy.
Yeah, it's a romance disguised as a bromance, but it's definitely a straight up romance.
Yeah, I mean, you have the couple aspect. You have.
I mean, both these movies that we chose, like Jason Segel plays a friend in a way, you know, and he's to these two characters
comedy romance are the top two on IMDb. Let's see.
I came in with that.
And those are the only two.
Yeah,
I came in with that. It is a com-rom, I guess.
Rom-com.
Well, it's comedy romance on this one, so it's comedy. It's a com-rom.
Com-rom. You heard it here first. We got com-roms in here.
Yeah, that's.
But so I would say like even like the Lipsky character and Clavin, like Peter Clavin character, they're kind of similar in a way, but they're not. When they're compared to next to Jason Segel, you can kind of see the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And, you know, I think it brings up a lot of good points. He was like, why are you getting married? Like, he's asking him all the friend questions too. Like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I don't know. You know, and it kind of freaks him out because he's like, well, why am I? You know, it's like, what am I doing?
No lads from the vag.
Yeah. No lag time between. The legs. And that's another thing that's cool about Sydney too. He's like, he's explaining it all to him. He's like, he's almost like that best friend. He's like, oh yeah, I've been around plenty of guys like you. I'll sit through this. You're worth it.
Yeah. Even the eating the sandwich, like all his friends bail on him, and Peter's like, I can't have you eat that all by yourself. You know,
like I already ate 1.5
feet. That's me though. I'm the ride or die buddy, but now I got my little ride or die. Here, speaking about my little ride or die. Oh.
Yeah. No.
Sorry about that.
No worries. I Love You Man is a solid 13 on CJ's score. We don't even have to do his. We know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
We don't have to do it. Yeah, it's like a
So
26.
really what we're waiting for is my score on this.
So let's go back. Let's go do the breakdown for the end of the tour.
You want to you want my score to be at the very end for I Love You Man? Is that
Yeah,
what you?
because that's what we've been doing it. We've been doing it. We score. Oh no, we
Okay.
read we read what the scores are on the movies, and then we give ours.
Okay.
Because it's clear we know what mine is. So mine's pretty obvious.
All right. We'll do into the tour and then we'll come back and
yeah. If pretty much if you made a movie with
CJ's just scared I'm gonna break his heart. That's all he's over here.
Hey man,
he's buying time.
We all have we have our own little our gems. Fine, this is one of my gems.
Fine. End of the tour.
End of the tour. 2015 got a 7.3 out of 10. 29,184 votes. So it's 7.3 on IMDb, which I think is a really good score.
Yeah, I think it's a solid score and a very reasonable one. Let me see here, because this movie, I mean, it's not going to be for everybody, you know.
Yeah,
this is it's one of those movies where you sit down and you watch people talk, and some people don't like that. They like the action. It's like that Broken Arrow scene. It's like, oh no, we don't have to see a Broken Arrow, and then they show it. They went to go, oh, we can watch something else, and they go and see that movie. That's another reason why I don't think Lipsky is all that bad, because I mean Wallace is kind of shitting on him low key throughout the entire movie, just a little bit, like in his own little ways.
Yeah,
you know. And he kind of, I feel like that ego. He said he could be an egomaniac. I feel like that kind of comes through.
Yeah,
in those,
you have to pick up on that.
Scenes. Yeah. But for Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter is going to be a 92% out of 160 reviews, and out of 10,000 reviews for an audience score, we have an 81%. So the critics' consensus: brilliantly performed and smartly unconventional end of the tour pays fitting tribute to the singular talent while offering profoundly poignant observations on human condition. It feels like they watched this movie and got a thesaurus and just tried to replace every word that they originally came up with something that was better. But I mean, yeah, no, that's pretty accurate. What do you okay, so what did we have on IMDb? It was like a 7.3, right?
Yeah, it was a 7.3, and then I Love You Man got a 7. So I was like, right in the park. See, the thing about this with 92, this is where I feel like this 92, I kind of knew it was gonna get like a fresh score. Like they say, I didn't even really know about Rotten Tomato too much, but I would think with the critics' consensus, I think it's a 92, and that to me is like, I don't really care what they think. But now after watching it, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a 90. I don't, I think it's a great movie. I think it's a 92. So
yeah,
as 81, I'm a little bit higher on it. It's it's a great movie overall. The thing about right now we get to Ben's score. I'm just gonna say real quick. Budget for I Love You Man was 40 million. Box office was 92. Boom goes the dynamite.
So, all right, if that's going to be your end all be all, I'm sure David Foster Wallace would care about only the money that his movie made as well.
What were you talking about? The money that David Foster Wallace is now
all
in
Lipsky's back pocket. It's all Lipsky's back pocket. Yeah, exactly. All that commercial success that they have. It's not Infinite Jest that gets the little boost up. It's Lipsky's book.
Yeah.
That finds the new fame. No, man. You wanna get my score for I Love You Man first?
Yeah. What do you got it on? What do you got?
I'm gonna give it an 11.
An 11. Wow. I am happy about that.
No, it really is a solid movie. It hits all the, it is a rom-com, but it's not your traditional rom-com. It's a com-rom. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, okay. I had somebody kicking me. So
oh, no worries. I was just making sure. But yeah, no, it's I would definitely recommend this to anybody. This is a movie that and it gets that 11 just because it even kind of exceeds that. Like I would definitely say you need to see I Love You Man. Especially I would definitely recommend that movie to guys. Like this is a total guy movie.
Yeah, and it has the stuff.
You remember that movie? Like It's a Guy Thing with Jason Lee.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
crabs on the toilet.
Yeah, I feel like you know,
That movie's a little.
if we didn't have that movie, we wouldn't have this movie.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. I think this movie gets confused with like a stoner movie. It's not really a stoner movie.
No.
If anything, it's more like a drinker movie. But what you said, I agree with. I think the fact that it's a simple little story and that you can like they show you so much. There's a lot in this movie without knowing that's in there. But this movie makes me happy because it just shows you like there's like friends, hanging out and the yelling under the boardwalk really that part like really gives me a little chipper in my like my heart or whatever, because it's nice to see that it's like doing something a little odd or a little off just to kind of help to understand someone else, and it helps them out. Like I don't think Peter would ever thought in his life to do that. I think Sydney does change a little bit, but not to the point where it's massive change like Peter has gone through. Now Peter's it's also like he's a realtor, like he does sales. He's supposed to go up to people and say hi. He's not supposed to, and he's scared. I mean, there's a part where he's calling Sydney for the first time and he's all freaking out, like he's like, and he leaves him those weird ass messages, and then Sydney listens to him. He's like, whatever. Or he says, I'll see you when I see you. He goes, well, I'm confused. Are you gonna meet up or not? Like, he's trying to figure it out. And Peter and I like what you said earlier. He explains things to him. Like Sydney gives him the time to grow it up, and you think that it's all Peter doing everything, but Sydney's getting attached too. Yeah. Sydney's falling in love too, and that's the whole. I mean, they say the movie at the end, they say the title of the movie, like, I love you, man. I love you, man. Like they got it in there, and then end of the tour. So it's the end of the tour. Yep, it's the end of the tour. Like they both say it. So end of the tour is definitely a slow pill to swallow. You have to let the movie talk for itself, let it do its own thing, and just take it. Some people might not relate to a whole lot of those scenarios, because I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to be a writer, and I didn't. It's hard, and even like when I was not like 10 years ago, when I had a artist friend of mine tell me, like, he goes, you should be a screenwriter. You should put it on your Facebook and throw it out there. You're a screenwriter, and eventually it'll manifest. And I was like, yeah, you're right, but you still got to put the time in. And I wasn't doing that. So now I do it. I do what I can now as a filmmaker. I'll practice. I read scripts. I do what I have to. But just I didn't want to just talk about it, because there's that part where Wallace says some writers just want to be called writers because they want to be known as being a writer. They just want to be as a writer. That's it. But you're not really writing shit. Yeah, it's like being called a filmmaker. You don't make any movies, or you make one movie and then I don't know. It's like I think it's a constantly thing you do, and you learn about it, because it's. I think that's what I finally accepted as an older age. It's just like, yeah, it's something it's an equation you got to figure out to move on to the next step, move on to the next step, move on to the next step. You just got to figure it out on your own. But with that being said, I thought your I Love You Man was gonna be a 10. I'm happy it was 11. So I'm sorry, Dad. I know he's at least gonna give it a 10. I think end of the tour, man. I can't say it's not an 11 or 12, but I'm going to stick with an 11.
Yeah.
It's an 11 movie. It's good.
I am too. I'm sticking with 11 on that one as well. It's one that I would, I would probably recommend to just about anybody.
Yeah. I would recommend, I like the scene too, where Niski and his girlfriend are just sitting down reading books, because and that's a cool, like, spending time with each other, like how they spend time with each other. Like some people, you watch a movie together, and other movies you just kind of sit there and read a book. Some people like to paint and draw and do stuff. But that's a different thing. I mean, even like Wallace being addicted to the TV, as he says it, like that he goes, that's not a sexy addiction. Everybody wants the heroin. Everybody wants the junkie. Nobody wants this kind of junkie, Yep. I like that. I like the whole thing about that. But I think are we coming out to an end? I totally forgot. This is one of those unfortunate breakup episodes, but Ben, he carries it for us. So he does me due diligence, and I love you, man.
Love you, Broheim.
Brohemian, Ben Hameen. So those two, we finally took season 3 to get to one of my favorite movies, or thought that was pretty cool. We haven't got to yours yet, but I was gonna suggest.
We got to Tombstone and Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, so yeah, sure, Tombstone. We got there. I was gonna say this because I think we were supposed to do it last time, and it was like right in our face, and we didn't do it. And then like we kind of went this route, which I love. I totally love that we went this route. Like me, actually, I mean, I know Jason Segel can do this, but to be able to sit down and talk about it like with someone else, and for us to like kind of break it down is cool. But even like with Ryan Gosling, we had to watch Only God Forgives. That's a hard grind, man. Yeah. So as we watch these movies now, I'm like, it's fun knowing that there's someone else on the other side that we're gonna talk about it soon. That being said, we're an organic podcast, and we also know that we can do our own thing. We get to what we want. I think there was a sign for us last time, and we didn't really pick up on it. And I'm like, I think we should just go back and do what CJ is going to call a rewind. We're doing a little rewind, and I think we should do Detroit's Rock City and The Rocker. It's like right in our face.
Oh yeah, I watched The Rocker the other day. It came on, and I just like let it go.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, it's right in our face. How did we not pick up on those? It was like the Tubi was telling us, you guys need to go this episode. But like side by side, we go where we feel we need to go. And we felt we need to go Jason Segel. And he's like, I should do a shout out video or like appreciate his talent. And that guy, I feel like I don't think he's very underestimated, but I feel like he's way better than, I don't know. I think he's good. Like
he's very talented.
He's very talented. He's been around for a while. He doesn't give up, and he's still trying new venues. Like, I got to give it up, man. Jason Segel's good. That's the same thing about Kevin Smith. That's what kind of like about my creators, the guys that do stuff. They have multiple things they can do. But even like, I don't know, even if they said he was in a band or maybe, and then he didn't start off good, but then 10 years down the line, he's like, hey, he's still in the band, he's still practicing. Like, I'd like to hear, Yeah. So, oh yeah. So are you cool with doing the Detroit Rock City? And
let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Edward Furlong, right? Finally,
Eddie Fur. He'll bring us to T2, man.
Oh, yep, and T1.
And T1,
maybe even T3 or T4, T5, T6. We'll see.
Hey, T3 is definitely underappreciated.
You said TT is underappreciated.
T3. You got me.
Gotcha.
But when real quick before we go, let me. So wait, Detroit Rock City is what, 1999, and I think so, yeah. The Rockers 2008.
2008, yeah.
So let's just. I like to kind of give a little bit of a. Let's see. Did I spell this right? There we go. God, it's funny, man. Like I already looking at because I saw the first like 10 minutes of it and I stopped and I was like, no, we gotta watch this. Oh wait, I clicked the wrong thing. I hit that says the Detroit Rock City deleted scenes. I didn't know they did that in IMDb. I didn't know they got that specific. My gosh. So it's 1999, rated R, 135, a comedy, music, released August 13th, 1999. In 1978, 4 rebellious teenagers tried to scam their way into a Kiss concert. That's it. That's it. All right. That's it. And then we're doing The Rocker. It's The Rocker 2008, PG-13, an hour 42. Comedy music. So that same thing, August 20th, 2008. In the 1980s, a drummer is abandoned by his band just before they become rock stars or superstars. 20 years later, the drummer sees his second chance at stardom arise when he is asked to perform with his teenage nephew's high school rock band. So that's already out there. But they were doing. We just finished up "I Love You, Man" 2009, and the end of the tour 2015, both starring Jason Segel. So I don't know. I put "I Love You, Man" and end of the tour for the backdrop, but I think we should just put Jason Segel on there. Yeah, we'll see. See how that goes.
Maybe from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Forgetting. Put the pic of him from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
I'll stare at it. Well, thank you for hanging out. I actually don't know how long this episode has gone. It's already 1:15. We're probably looking at like 2:40 or something. But they're good movies to talk about. It was comedy, serious. Now we're going kind of comedy. But the thing about that serious movie was it was a nice blend there. It was a nice. It's a thinker, and the tour is a thinker movie. And we're gonna unplug for these next two movies. I know for sure Detroit Rock City, it's better we unplug, and then for the Rocker maybe plug it back a little bit. But we're gonna ready to sign off.
Yep, let's sign off, man.
All right. Well, thank you for listening Side by Side. My name is CJ,
and I'm Ben Garrett. Hey, you have a great evening, everybody, or a wonderful day, whichever one it is. See you later.
Peace. Yeah.